Hi, my name is Kelly Smith, and welcome to the Kelly Smith Show. Well, at least that's what my name was going to be. You see, when I was 8 years old, my grandpa Harold picked me up from school, as he often did, and I asked him, "Can I change my name?" "Yes," he said. "How?" I wondered. "Well, it costs $25 and you have to be 18 years old." It was settled. Can I have $25 for my 18th birthday? You see, my name is Zan McGee Pan. And I'm not sure what was so particularly frustrating that day. Maybe it was learning the ABCs of musical instruments, only to find X for xylophone was the end of the line. Maybe it was the daily annoyance of my teachers and friends inevitably mispronouncing one or all of my names. Have you ever been inside a Disney World souvenir shop exploring millions of keychains, never to find one with your name on it? Well, I'd had it. Kelly Smith. That's a name that could work for me. No one would mispronounce that, and I could just blend in. I think that was the beginning for me. I know my story isn't particularly unique since I am from the Beyonce generation, but it's more than that. It's more than a name. It's a bigger idea in our culture that says that if we don't have a category to fit you in, then we don't know what to do with you. It was clear to me at even a young age that one of my goals was to fit in. Some might say to assimilate. While I was waiting for Kelly to work out, I thought maybe I just need a solid nickname, something like Skittles or Big Z. I was already 5'7" by the 5th grade, so. But one day, I finally made it into the cool kids club. They gave me a nickname, Oreo. I was so excited. I rushed home to tell my brother the good news, and he knows what most of you already know. It was a farce. Oreo means that to them I was black on the outside and white on the inside. An ignorant, incomplete idea about who I was. These kids looked at the way I spoke or the way I dressed or the hobbies I took an interest in, and they gave me a label. In hindsight, maybe my family thought I needed to be assimilated into the culture too, so they encouraged me to go to an all-black high school. This is the part where I may lose my black card, but during the first week of school, one of my teachers asked us to share our favorite figure in Black history. I raised my hand to say Martin Luther King Jr., but someone said that. I kept it up to say Rosa Parks, and someone said that too. I slowly lowered my hand and thought, who else is there? See, at the schools I had attended before, we ate birthday cake on Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, and we reenacted the bus boycott during Black History Month. But that was it. I didn't get to learn the stories of Maya Angelou and Booker Taliaferro Washington, Dick Gregory, and James Baldwin. But here at my new school, I got to learn their stories. I got to hear how they overcame so much adversity and worked together for a common good. This new environment inspired me and sparked an interest in my roots. Maybe this was a place I could really connect and belong. But I wasn't quite black enough here either. See, I didn't know enough Cash Money record songs or watch enough Martin episodes for my peers to accept me. So it became clear to me that if I didn't know who I was, people were willing to decide it for me in the most malicious ways. During college, I was thrust into new situations and new communities like the choir, the theater, the Greeks, new suite mates and new friends, and I was able to figure out who I was when I was on my own. I was finding my voice and my vibe, and I even got to hang out with the real Dick Gregory along the way. The antics of HBCU life seemed to end as quickly as they began. I ended up back home after graduation and fell back into the pattern of fitting in. 21-year-old Zahn looked an awful lot like 8-year-old Kelly. It was as if nothing had changed until one Saturday night when everything changed. We gathered around the television as our local meteorologist began to cry, and she told us all to leave town. We didn't know it that day, but our lives would be changed forever by what we refer to as the storm. My family had never evacuated for a hurricane before, so it was a bit chaotic, but we had a plan. Cars gassed up, hotels booked, bag packed. I packed the recommended 3 days worth of clothes, my precious photo albums, and my brother packed his favorite shoes, and we headed off. We ended up in Dallas, Texas, 30 hours later, and here they gave us a new label: victims, survivors, refugees. I felt like Alice in Wonderland in this new world, this new cast of characters with crazy colors. It was sheer madness. The angst of it all is stuff we still don't talk about today. I remember sitting in my car, crying, hoping to wake up from this nightmare, but I couldn't. This is my new story. This was our new life. There was no going back. We worked hard to shake this refugee label. My parents opened a restaurant, I finished grad school and pursued my career. And I found that when you're an adult, they don't laugh at you and make up nicknames. They give you a label on a business card. This 2x3-inch piece of paper defines who you are. But it's not who I am, it's what I do. It seemed like all the while people were finding their why, I was still trying to find my who. Who am I? A collection of labels and fantastical adventures? Then one day it hit me. I was standing in line at the Texas State Fair, and I happily exchanged $50 in cash for sheets of worthless paper. You know, tickets. Tickets literally have "cannot be redeemed for cash" printed right on them. I thought about this word redeem, to exchange something that is unpleasant for something more acceptable. What if I could use redemption? What if I could take all the times I was at the back of the line, or sitting by myself in the cafeteria, or the only Black woman in a meeting, or when my family was forced by Hurricane Katrina to leave everything behind, and exchange it for something bigger, something of value, like a ride at the fair. I could redeem these moments for the realization of who I am. Maybe all these adventures in Wonderland were just me becoming more me. Have you ever realized that you're already a part of the culture? That you are already living a triumphant, inspired story? Sometimes it could seem easier to forget or rewrite our story, but I think there's a sense of strength and resilience in our ability to redeem our stories and find the value in all the dimensions that make you who you truly are. So you can call me Kelly, Big Z, Oreo, refugee, or pretty for a Black girl. I have come to learn that these labels do not define me. It's up to me to exchange these labels for something of value and turn these labels into assets. And after all this time, I'm resolved to remain Zan McGee Pan. And I think I'll save my $25.